Ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Chile here, identified as the YouTube channel. Now listen, four things to address today. Number one, if you want to be in any type of relationship, you call them romantic relationships, whether dating or even a marriage, for you to actually have the right person, you must be that right person. What do I mean? We are constantly held up in trying to look for somebody who is your type, yet you are not that type. Why? Because we attract who we are. I'm putting emphasis on this because I want you to focus on you, not what you want outside you. Okay? So when you're looking for a certain type of person, you will get that person. However, that person is looking for another type of person. So whatever you're looking for is actually an inadequacy inside you. It simply means inside you, you are so empty and you're basically thinking that someone from outside can actually come in and fill that gap. That is your problem. Your problem is you lack an identity and you're so empty. So the moment you start looking for someone, the moment you have a type and then you're looking it from outside, you've lost it totally. Most of you are in relationships that are actually struggling because yes, you have your type, but then you're still struggling. All right, because you attracted somebody who was just as empty as you, and now both of you are actually struggling. I want you to look at it this way, and this goes for ladies. When a man takes you on a date and asks you, what are you looking for in a man? You'll basically be looking for someone who can actually come in and fill a void that is empty in him. That's why you have that type of person. All right. And trust me, the moment you tell a man the type of man that you're looking for, chances are very high he is not that type. So you're telling him who he's not. And then this guy will simply use that and play that role. He will act that role. And when he acts that role, he's actually doing this so that he earns the organ. Once he gets the organ, it is a wrap. And for the men, imagine taking a woman on a date and then you ask her what she is looking for in a man. Yet you want this woman. So you've taken her on a date and you're asking her, what do you want in a man? You've lost the point because this is the reality. This lady will describe who you're not. She might end up describing a financially stable man, a physically fit man, a tall guy. Imagine she's describing that and you're short. Imagine she's saying she wants a financially stable man, and yet you have just borrowed 1,000 shillings from your friend so that you can actually impress. You can take her on a date to actually try and woo her or win her. Automatically, when she says that she's looking for a financially stable man, you are not financially stable. So, what clicks into your head? I have to act as though I am financially stable so that I can win her organ. So, you'll constantly try to act as that man that she's actually said. You will hire that car to take her on dates. You'll text her in the midnight. You'll give her the attention. You'll pretend to be there emotionally only to earn the organ. And immediately you earn it, you confirm it. Once you confirm it, it's a wrap. So therefore, stop looking for your type because your type is actually you. Focus on you. Fix your inside world so that you become adequate. Have an identity by overcoming those false identities that you have from church, from your parents, from school, from religion, from the environment, from the workplace, from the internet. All these are false identities that lie to you and that describe to you the type of man that you want. You know very well inside your head, you're so empty. Inside your spirit, you're very empty. So you simply relate to what people are saying out there on the internet. In this moment in time, there's a lot of masculinity coaches all over, and they're teaching men how to actually be attractive to women. That is the wrong idea. Why would you teach a man how to be attractive to women? All he'll be now focusing on is how to have constant ejaculations, and we are making them weaker. So if we teach them the spiritual order of life, that God above men, men above women, and women above children, this man, once he understands this and sinks into him, he will understand his role in a relationship. He will understand why he is a man, because most of you are just males and not men. That word man has a responsibility. So once he understands the order, the spiritual order of life, he will not expect women to provide for him. He will not be inadequate trying to look for a woman. He will simply fix himself, become so adequate, and then attract. And this goes also to ladies. Overcome those false identities so that you don't look for a man, because looking for a man is unnatural. You are beautiful the way you are and you need to attract a man. The only thing you need to do is fix your inside world so that you attract who you are. We always attract who we are. Number two, in a relationship, the reality is Most men are constantly turning women into sluts so that the slutty nature in a woman can serve his interests. That's why we have all these sex styles and sex positions all over. All right. So they're trying to turn a woman into a slut so that this woman serves his interests, his weaknesses from inside, his mindset, because he's always watching porn and all these movies that are conditioning him. And by the way, watching porn is quite abnormal because if you're constantly watching porn, it simply means you're enjoying another man having sex. You're looking at another man pounding a yam. That basically tells you you have that gene of being a gay person. Because how would you enjoy another man having sex? And then now you take these ideas from that man and you want to impose them on a woman. So you're constantly turning women into sluts. And that is insane. Okay? So during sexual experiences, allow me to tell you these ladies that most men do not have an ability to have the refractory period. Basically, the refractory period is when a man ejaculates, they have to take some time before they erect again, unless they are on drugs. All right. So that refractory period, most men, it is a wrap. Once they ejaculate, it is over. Because post-nut clarity, it will actually show a man that you just ejaculated in the wrong one this time again. Okay, for the 13th time. So every man after an ejaculation, there's a clarity that comes into their head, and they start looking at you and thinking, oh, okay, this one has a pot belly, this one is not, this one is fat, this one is obese. It's not about the thick thighs anymore. Now he's seeing all the evil nature in you. He's seeing all the odds in you that he didn't see before the nuts. So after an ejaculation, every man knows that this was the right woman or this was the wrong woman for this sexual experience. So I'll tell you this. Actually, encourage your men to actually not just ejaculate, retain the semen, and I'll talk about that as point number 4. However, listen to this. So as a man grows older, their testosterone levels going down, they're getting fat and obese, they're getting relaxed, and then some of your relations get so boring, right? So now you're getting used to each other and it's so boring. This means that your sexual life will become also boring. So what happens is, this man after ejaculation, most men, most, not all, but most men, after ejaculating, they don't want you there. Women, this is a secret for you. Most men after an ejaculation, they know they don't want you there. But because some of you are in marriages, this guy has ejaculated and you are the wife. He can't do anything about it. He can't tell you to get out. And if you're in a relationship and your man still sticks around to hang around to tell you these stories, listen, these men are pretending. They don't want those stories. The real situation is they are doing just these things to please you so that they can earn another episode of sex. Also, they are so afraid inside them of actually correcting a woman or telling a woman the truth. So they are actually afraid of you and they can't tell you the truth. So they fear if they tell you the truth, you'll get upset and they will be lonely. An abnormal state. Okay, so most men hate their mothers, they resent their mothers, but they don't know. And they end up attracting their mothers in relationships. Okay, and now he's here with you, had sex with you, ejaculated, he doesn't want you there, he wants you to leave. But he can't tell you that because, I mean, he doesn't want you to get upset, right? Yes. So listen, when you go to a man and you're planning to stick around and all that, as you plan in your head, inform that man. All right, I'm telling you this for free. These ladies who go to sleepovers to your boyfriend, and then he asked you to go there, you go there, and then once you're there, you want to stick around for the weekend without his information, without him knowing, you're going to set yourself up for this. So inform him and understand. Chances are, after the ejaculation, it's over, it's a wrap. He doesn't want to talk to you, he doesn't want you there in his space. Basically, he's just confirmed his deal and it's over. So encourage your men to retain their semen because that's now point number 3. Semen retention, and we will talk about this on a live on Monday. All right, so join the live on YouTube, Health and Wellness Sport. Anyway, semen retention is very important for men who are struggling with erections, who are struggling with erectile dysfunction, and even premature ejaculation. So semen retention actually makes the man retain the power during a sexual process. So understand that actually a man can actually get so satisfied with a sexual experience without having to ejaculate. Ladies, stop pushing men to ejaculate so that you think you've satisfied them or you're the only man, the only woman in his life. Ignore that. Men can have an orgasm, which is the feel good effect, and then the release, which you call the come, that is the ejaculation. Now, that is the most useless thing during a sexual experience because ejaculation was designed to make a woman pregnant. So if this man ejaculates without an intention of making you pregnant, that's how he starts to realize, oh, I've messed up. Now I have to spend more money to buy you P2. Now I have to actually now convince you that, you know what, we don't want children. So ejaculation is crazy, okay, and makes men so weak. So once he ejaculates, it's a wrap. But if he retains the semen, one, he'll pay attention to the sex. He'll pay attention to actually satisfying you sexually. I'm not saying that men should actually pay attention to women so much during sexual experience, but I'm saying he will actually give you the satisfactory sex in terms of orgasms that you desire. And number three, he'll actually understand that actually sex is not totally about the ejaculation, but about the entire process. All right, so we'll talk about this on Monday. But understand, once a man ejaculates, it's a wrap. So the more he ejaculates, the weaker he becomes, and the more resentful he becomes towards you. So the lesser the ejaculation, the better the sex, the longer it lasts, all right, and the better the relationship because there's bonding, there's talking, and all that. But also understand that men don't want those stories after sex. Most men don't. Most men don't want those stories that you girls are interested in because we don't love emotionally. We know how to provide, to protect, to lead, and then have sex with you. But we are not designed to ejaculate and then start having stories with you. Very few men will do that. And these are men who definitely will not ejaculate. But the man who ejaculates just simply wants to sleep. That's why it gets boring after ejaculation, they want to sleep. Right? And they become so aggressive as a defensive mechanism to keep you to shut you down so that we don't bring this machine, these stories that you ladies bring up after sex. It is so exciting before the sex because you'll have conversations, it is trying to woo you so that you open up your legs. After the ejaculation, it's over. I mean, he has achieved his goal and that's over, okay? So semen retention is very important in men. So if you picked nothing in this video, pick this. One, that before you attract somebody, be that type that you want to attract. Fix you, the internal world, overcome those false identities. Number two, that after an ejaculation, most men, the refractory period can last forever. They don't want to see you again. All right. So very few men will relax and then come back again. So tell your man to fix themselves in terms of the diets, exercises and workouts and all that. And also let them fix their identities so that they don't convert women into sluts. Right? Because once the slutty nature in a woman dies, it is over. Now he has to chase another woman and convert that other woman into a new slut to serve his interests, his weaknesses from inside him. Because for him, he doesn't know how to respect women because he is serving the emotions that were imparted in him when he was remodeled into his mother's image. So inside him, he still has his mother and he's so emotional. So it's all about the ejaculation and that's it. Number three, that if you're interested in stories with a man, please. Anyway, if you're trying to communicate something to a man, do it within the first 1 minute or 2 minutes of that conversation. The problem with you ladies, you start a conversation with all this nonsense, and then at the end of that conversation is now you only remember you really wanted to pass a point. This guy is a rap. Just the same way you send a man to buy things for you, and then you simply keep on adding a lot of things. This man will come back home with the last thing that you actually mentioned. So pay attention because we are not the same. We're not wired to be the same. The way we take information is not as you. We take it overtly, you take it covertly. So do not try to model your man to be you, to be a woman. Understand that men are supposed to behave in a certain way and women are supposed to behave in a certain way. And the only way to understand that is to find your identity. If not watch my identity videos, just simply go to 𝗪𝘁 YouTube platform and go on the live section and understand the order of life and how we end up getting false identities. The last thing, semen retention is very important for a man. Do not think that if a man does not ejaculate, you did not satisfy him sexually or he's possibly seeing another woman besides you. Men can actually have sex, be satisfied, get orgasms, and retain their semen. Right? This is the only way they can keep you free from hormonal contraceptives. It's the only way they can actually maintain bonding between you and them. It's the only way they can actually give you satisfactory sex and also them become satisfied through this sexual process. I thought you should know. And my name is 𝗪𝘁. Check out my YouTube channel called 𝗪𝘁 that teaches you how to fix anger, how to fix emotions, how to fix insecurities, doubt, fear, concern, the need to be loved, the emptiness in you, right? All these things that you've been taught that are actually supposed to be dropped. So unlearn and then start relearning. Be open, and this video is for people who totally want to learn. It's not for everybody.